Now, learning Thai every day is a good habit, of course. We shouldn't forget that we also need to work out. So after 1 week of doing basically nothing, finally found a good gym. The thing is, here in Bangkok, public transportation is pretty good. So normally take the BTS, can also take taxis, and not that expensive, but especially in the area where I stay in Soi 11 here, there's lots of taxi drivers that try to rip you off. So normally just take the BTS, €1 per ride, pretty good deal.
So we're beginning week 2 today. Let's see what we can learn. Yeah, so Jan, maybe I could ask you a couple of questions. And how has this first week been for you? Like looking back on the last week, you happy with your progress?
Yeah, I think so. I think always a big challenge when you learn a language that you need to be consistent, right? I think if you look back at last week, I managed to take classes every day, and I also studied every day for at least 30 minutes until 1 hour. So I think was pretty good, the progress that I made. Pretty satisfied about it. I think last Friday I was having the first conversation with my teacher that was actually pretty spontaneous.
นี่ถูกต้องคุณเป็นยังไงบ้าง
ผมสบายดีวันนี้วันอาทิตย์ดังนั้นผมเหนื่อย
ทำไมวันอาทิตย์เหนื่อย
เพราะว่าผมเมื่อวันไปปาร์ตี้
I think what I've been doing has changed over the last few days. So last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was just kind of learning the real basics, some simple verbs, simple question words, things like that, and just getting used to the language, pronunciation, really just like taking whatever the teacher was feeding me. But over the last few days, like I said in the previous videos, I've kind of switched, and I'm really trying to memorize more now because there's a lot of, especially like adverbial phrases, things like usually, also, anyway, things like that. Like I've learned those now, and I'm really able to string together longer sentences.
You do that with flashcards, right?
And I'll be doing that with flashcards, yeah. So I'm taking this new vocabulary, putting it into flashcards, and that's really working. What's been really great, I think, is to have this teacher one-on-one who's really been able to really hone in on my pronunciation. Fix mistakes with pronunciation, my tones.
Yeah. We were just having this discussion, right? Because normally, I think you too, we only take classes online. But the thing, especially when you learn languages like Thai or any tonal language, Thai, Mandarin, it's actually also very good to have a teacher in the beginning that helps you to pronounce the tones and the syllables really well. And that's actually also what I did when I learned Mandarin. I went to China and stayed there for 5 months, and I took language classes every day, and I had a teacher who really helped me pronouncing all these syllables and the tones.
I've really appreciated having this face-to-face teacher. You could definitely do it online. I just think and if I was doing this in London, I might not be able to find a good Thai teacher. I don't know. So I think the fact that I am in Thailand means that I have got that advantage of being able to go to a good school with a good teacher. So yeah, for you, like, is anything going to change this week?
Not really. So my main focus was to take classes online and of course learn the most important vocabulary with Anki. I've learned about 350 words now, and my goal is to learn another 100 or maybe 200 words in the next week. Now you might think by yourself, isn't that too much? How can you learn 20 words per day? Isn't that too much? Well, maybe it is a lot, but the thing is that I have already seen many of these new words, so I know them passively, but I just don't memorize them right now. I think it's just
you're looking at like not just memorizing the vocabulary, but activating it and being able to use it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, recognizing the words is one thing, but in order to produce, the output yourself.
And I think this is something that people ask us about flashcards a lot, and I think this is one of the reasons that both like me and Jan really like flashcards because you can use them as we don't really use them to memorize the word. We use it as a speaking prompt, an output. So what you said earlier, flashcards for you, they're not input, they're outputs, which is a really big important thing because you know what we both do is we look at the word first in English on the flashcard and then we try and produce it in the language, and that's so it's imitating the process of speaking. And
input, like normally when I learn languages, input comes from either from a good language resource, so a book, audio,
or your teacher,
or your teacher, exactly. And revising them in an app like Anki. That's the ideal thing for me. I mean, Anki has this algorithm and knows when you are about to forget the word, and it just lets you revise the word before you.
And it's much more efficient than having like 20 conversations and going through the frustration of having to remember.
You don't need a teacher for that, so it's also for free. Of course, maybe you need to invest in a good resource, but in the end. Yeah, and then another thing I would like to mention is, so Stu J, he gave us the advice to take a look at the Thai alphabet as well. Yeah, now I'm using Stu J's program as well in order to, well, basically to revise, to activate the Thai alphabet again.
So, now have a look, that's down low. It's the owl just scooting around on the ground trying to find out what's there.
It would be a great thing to be able to leave here and to be able to use a bit of Thai with people I come across in London. That would be a real pleasure and a joy for me. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, any last words?
No last words for today. Just keep following us, and then we see you today again. Tomorrow. Today, one video per day. Prong ni.
Okay. See you again. Prong ni.
Prong ni.